This is Ready Set Homestead, where the only fluff is the feathers. A lot of times if you're getting chickens, turkeys, different kind of birds and things like that, you might find them on a place like Facebook Marketplace. So one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, I found these two guys right here. So these are royal palm turkeys. They're supposed to be about 5 months old. I haven't decided if I'm going to process them yet or if I'm actually going to breed them. We'll see. Big thing is when we get back to the house, I'm going to show you what to look for when you're getting a bird from a non-approved or non-certified breeder, seller, whatever it may be. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in the car. I got about an hour drive home. I got these guys for a great deal, and I'll see you in just a second. All right, so we made it back to the house. First things first, we want to quarantine them. So I have this little area right here. If you watch past videos, this is where I actually kept the turkeys. Last year I had 2. Now I have 14. So this is the quarantine area. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all of this stuff out. I'm gonna put in some new bedding. I'm also gonna lay down some DE, diatomaceous earth. We wanna clean this out first. Oh, y'all hush. Y'all hush. So we're gonna clean this out, give the turkeys somewhere where we're gonna quarantine them for probably 10 days, just to make sure that there's no illnesses or anything like that. And if something happens to one of them, we cull both of them because we don't wanna risk infecting the rest of the flock. So I'm gonna go ahead and empty this out, and then I'm going to fill it back up, and we're gonna show you how to inspect your birds. So what I'm doing here, I'm just collecting the shavings that we had previously, and I'm gonna toss them in the raised garden beds for our fall garden. So when you're putting the bedding down, you don't have to completely spread it out. Chickens and turkeys will spread it themselves to make it even. So that's not something that you really have to do. I am gonna use the diatomaceous earth. Let's see if I can rip the bag. Hey, I did it. Well, there we go. So what diatomaceous earth does, it's this right here. So diatomaceous earth is diomes. So it kind of looks like flour. Now, this is something you want to be careful with. You always want to use food grade. It dries things out. That's the best way I can describe it. So the diomes are microscopic. They have really jagged edges. So any sorts of mites or bugs or beetles or anything like that, it's going to actually tear them up. Little jagged things are going to get into them, and it's going to end up sucking the moisture out of them and killing them. So it's great to treat for bugs, mites, things like that. Now I'm using a glove. I'm only using a glove on this one. Can irritate your skin. You don't want to inhale it. You want to wash your hands if you're using it before you eat, drink, smoke, anything like that. The only reason I'm using the glove, I usually do it in my hand, is because I'm about to work with the turkeys and I'm gonna be touching around their eyes, so I don't want it to get into their eyes. But you just kind of sprinkle this stuff around and mix it in. So before I inspect the turkeys, I'm gonna go ahead and get them water. I got a water right here. I highly recommend, if you're gonna use a water, use the top fill. So it has this little thing down here. You keep that screwed on. You fill the top and then you unscrew the bottom. But these are drastically better than the bottom fill ones because they're not gonna spill, and you can also hang these too. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link in the description for different kind of waters on Amazon that you can get. So feel free to check it out. Got a wasp that's been flying around my head since I came in here. The turkeys will get it. For the feed, I'm not gonna give them a ton of feed. I'm gonna give them a limited amount because I wanna be able to monitor over the next 10 days their food intake. All right, so we have our turkey here. The first thing I'm gonna be looking at, it's okay. The first thing is I'm gonna look at the sinuses. I wanna look around the nose. I wanna see if there's any kind of swelling. You're okay, you're okay. because that could be a symptom of mycoplasma or respiratory things. I want to check underneath the wings. So I'm looking for any kind of mites, bugs, things like that. Now turkeys, you can hold by the wings like this. I'm gonna check underneath the vent. Gotta look under there for any kind of gunk or anything like that. And then of course you wanna check the feet. Same thing, you're checking the feet for any kind of issues or anything like that. Come on. So when I pull it out, I just gently pull the tail, not hard. And I reach up. And I'm gonna grab those wings. Okay, hold on. Nah, this one's strong. Okay. All right. So this one might be a tom, but same thing. I'm checking any kind of swelling. There's no swelling. I want to check for any kind of mites. No mites. I want to check underneath. Everything's good. Then I want to check the feet. So I think this guy's a tom. You're probably gonna pull a few feathers. The easiest way to hold the turkey is by the wings like that, pinching them back. Turkey wings are very, very strong. If they catch you in the face, it hurts a lot. If you're holding them with two hands, you're putting their talons close to your belly, close to your side, and that can really cause some serious pain if they get you. But they're gonna live in here for the next 10 days. We'll monitor them. Make sure they look good. Y'all are doing good. Y'all are okay. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give some treats, some worms, and give them the worms. Just like any animal, if you're trying to train them for a certain thing, don't give them treats before you do your inspections. Because if you give them a treat and you start manhandling them and making them uncomfortable, they're gonna associate the treats with being uncomfortable. So you always want to make sure you do what's uncomfortable first, and then you give them a treat. Just like a dog, just like a kid, just like anything, they're gonna recognize, oh, if I do this, I'm gonna get treats after. So quarantine your birds. Highly recommend it, just because if there is disease, you don't want it to kill your whole flock. So, but if one of those birds goes sick, we're gonna go ahead and just cold both of them. With that being said, try to reduce as much stress as you can. I actually let them sit in the cage before I did the diatomaceous earth inside there for probably an hour, just because birds are very susceptible to stress and they can get very sick due to stress. A lot of the diseases they get are actually because of the stress. So transportation is very stressful on birds. Transport them, let them sit for a while, then start doing all your inspections. So that's all I got for you today. Is Ready, Set, Homestead. Inspect your birds, enjoy homesteading. Have a good one.